that's when we have a lot of issues there. So just balancing that dosha, knowing that, it's not a bad thing that we have that. It's just that we need to figure out how to balance it. So just going over some of the other characteristics, we know that it's an air sign and space element. So they said that instead of ether. Well,
Mhm.
I add this. And then, okay, so characteristics are it's light, dry. So sometimes you'll have like dry skin, or you dry out pretty quickly, cracked lips, dry hair, so you're not oily enough.
Mhm.
So they can get cold easy, like their appendages will, you're like always trying to warm up. Um, so irregularity, and I think that means like with digestion and then mobility. So like getting yourself, like you're always on the move. But when you're balanced, you've got good creativity, enthusiasm, and energy. And so, I was talking to Dennis last time and I was like, I feel like when I'm like on a new project or creating something new, I definitely get that Vata energy and I'm like, like so excited and I get all
Right.
that enthusiasm. And so, and that creativity, it gives me energy. And so I really like that a lot.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, yeah, you're the same way. And then when it's imbalanced, like we were saying before the video started, it can turn into anxiety, dryness, restlessness, and then the other thing we didn't talk about is digestive issues. So bloating is pretty common, or constipation is typically so irritable bowel type things can go along with this dosha as well. So yeah. So the thing is that we tend to think health foods or foods that are going to help us be more healthy are the cold salads, smoothies, fruits, vegetables that are cold. And so with this dosha, we are actually seeing that you want those vegetables and fruits, but you want to warm them.
Mhm.
Okay. So that kind of segues into focusing on warmth, moisture, and nutrients. So instead, you can still have that apple, but add a little bit of water and cinnamon and saute it in a pan or ginger. So you're taking that same fruit or vegetable and making it warm. So it's easier to digest. It's easier. You're not getting
Mhm.
so much bloating. And, especially in the cooler time period, like when it's colder outside, this is when Vata can be more, susceptible to needing that more of that warmth. Um, so yeah, eating warm grounded food, avoiding raw foods and cold foods. And so, of course they have their place, but if you feel that you're in an imbalance, you want to err on the side of more warm. And so in general, you would eat more warm, but there is that aspect of, a lot of people are more than one. So, say you're also pitta, that's a fire. So, you can put yourself into a pitta imbalance if you do put too much warming. So
Mhm.
just make sure that you're realizing, hey, I might be pitta too. Well, you're kapha, but potentially kapha. But you could, okay, so with kapha, they are actually more water, right? So with the vata, you don't want to get too much water in there because if you have a cough imbalance, you could throw yourself out of cough imbalance. Okay. So eating soups, but maybe a thicker soup might be better if you have a cough imbalance sometimes. Okay.
Okay,
So just,
interesting. Because
yeah.
I
So,
like thick soups.
yeah. Okay.
Matter of fact, I made some butternut squash.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I made zucchini, and I
Yeah.
thought those were
Yeah.
pretty thick.
Yeah, so that's exactly what you're already kind of leaning towards that because you're probably like craving that. Like, okay, I know that that's something that will probably be better for me.
Right. But I
So,
never thought about warming
mhm.
uh Well, I mean, I do have, hot vegetables, but
Hmm.
I do like a lot of salads,
Yes. Yeah.
and you're saying that they need to be warm, so
Yeah.
somehow.
And
So okay.
and the thing is like, you might want to take those greens and saute them. Like this morning I had yesterday I was like super imbalanced because I had had salads all weekend and I'm like you. I'm Pitta or a Vata Kapha. So we're very similar there. Um,
Okay.
and so I had salad so much and I had smoothies like a smoothie bowls and I was like all over the place. My mind was going everywhere. I couldn't like sit and focus. I had so many projects I wanted to do, but I just couldn't like I was doing one little bit.
Right, right, right. Just
Monkey mind.
jumping from different things,
Yes, yes.
and yeah.
And so,
But
so
it's
I
funny,
go ahead.
everything gets completed, but it
Yes.
just seems like it's a big mess for the whole
Yeah.
day. You're just doing a whole bunch of stuff, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you hone in and
Yeah.
finish everything.
Yes.
I don't
I don't
understand.
always, but yeah, I try to finish it at some point. Yeah, but
Right.
yes. So getting that organized. And so, I use AI. That's one thing that I'm learning in one of my other programs. I'm in digital marketing too, and they teach
Mhm.
us how to use AI. Well, I use ChatGPT, and I mean, definitely be careful with ChatGPT because, especially with herbs and stuff like that, it doesn't know everything. It's not perfect. So if you don't know much about that, then make sure that
Mhm.
you're actually doing research outside of that. But, he does know about doshas and stuff like that. We had been talking about that.
Mhm.
And so I was like, what can I eat that I can make quickly? Because I was getting really anxious because it was like too much. I had so much to do. And he was like, okay, he gave me multiple options, but I picked a rotisserie chicken with avocado toast. And
Mhm.
like afterwards, I was like, I actually took a little nap. I was like, it made me too tired.
Right. Okay. Okay.
But like just that one meal, it changed the whole day, you know?
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
I put some garlic on it and some sea salt. But so, just, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm not really talking as much
Do
about
you?
food, but I wanted to dive into
No,
that
I
too.
understand you. Your what? How do you make your avocado toast? I make mine with sweet potato.
Oh, sweet potato.
Yeah,
Okay.
roast the sweet potato and
Okay.
then layer it with the avocado.
That was one of the options was sweet potato, but for a calming. Um
Okay.
but I've never made it like that. Usually I just cut up avocado and then put either garlic and salt on top. But
Okay.
they didn't have any, so I just got the spread. It wasn't very good. But
Yeah,
it did the
not
job.
all of them are good. I Whole
Yeah.
Foods has a good chunky one.
Okay.
Whole Foods, yeah,
We
yeah.
don't have any Whole
Spicy.
Foods around here.
Oh,
We
okay.
we have
Okay.
Aldi, which is
Mm-hmm.
it's a similar.
Yes.
Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but I just went to Walmart because I was running out
Yeah.
of time.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
starving.
Not all of them. You might as well make it yourself if yeah.
Yes, yeah. There
So
were
what's it?
none of the avocados were ready, so
Okay,
we
yeah,
we
yeah.
have that problem here. I don't know if you guys have that problem there.
With the avocados being ready,
Uh-huh.
you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I gotta bring them home for a couple of days before.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. They're really green.
See,
Real
and
green.
when I bring them home, they turn like moldy, you know?
They turn moldy. No,
Yes.
what you do is you put them in the refrigerator,
Hmm.
and when you want it, like if you have like 4 or 5,
Mm-hmm.
you can put it in the refrigerator, and
Hmm.
you take it out the night before,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll see that it turned dark, and always pick the avocado with the stem still in the middle of it.
Hmm.
If
Okay.
that's that little piece,
Uh-huh.
is
Yeah.
taken off, don't take it. And
Okay.
look at the skin, and make sure it's not bruised or stuff.
Yeah.
And with that teeth. So now when you take it out that night, you can pull that piece off. That'll make it ripen
Oh,
even
like
more.
activate it. Okay.
Right. And so then in the
Okay.
morning you can just
Okay.
and the rest of them could stay in there until you want it.
Okay.
Really, so it
I'll have
stays
to
in
try
there.
that because
Yeah,
my husband is from Nicaragua. He loves avocados, but like down there, it's like always fresh.
right.
It's always
Yeah,
right. He
yeah,
doesn't have
yeah.
to
They
wait.
don't pick them. They pick them too early here, so we have to
Yeah.
make sure
Yeah.
that they become fresh.
Yeah. Okay. So and then maintaining a regular routine can counteract that Vata irregularity in their nature.
Hmm.
And my husband is very planned, so he has really organized me a lot more. In the morning we go walk every morning. Well, most mornings. And that really gets us set for our routine. So there's a lot more routine in my life than ever was before. And then calming herbs support the nervous system and the digestion. Okay. Um, so herbs that balance Vata. Okay, so I did make quite a few slides. I wanted to make sure, first of all, there are some I've never had experience with. I just wanted to let you know that because I'm always very clear if I'm talking about an herb that I've never used that you guys that you know that.
Hmm.
And so I'm just a disclaimer, but I will
Okay.
tell you which ones I have and have not used.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because this is Indian, so some of the stuff we don't even use over here or we have never heard of. Now,
That's excellent.
ashwagandha
Hmm.
is a very hot topic now in the
Hmm.
States. Now, for me, I have used this before. It makes me anxious. And or depressed, which is really odd. I know it's an adaptogen. I know it's supposed to help regulate you, but for me, it either makes me anxious or depressed. So for me, I don't know why, but it does not work. Um,
How do you
so,
use it? The pill form
so
or
I've used, yeah, I've only used the pill. No, I have had the tea as well.
okay?
I've had both.
Yeah,
Um,
I've never used it at all. So
okay.
I know about it, but I've
Yes.
never used it. Hmm.
Yes. So yeah, I've taken it as a supplement, and I think when I first start taking it, it gives me energy. I feel better. If I start consistently taking it, I start going down. Then I start getting depressed. Like I start
Mm.
feeling like down. So I don't know if it stimulates my nervous system to activate, and then it starts to bring me down. I don't know. Um, but that's just my experience with it. I know a lot of people like swear by it, and love it. And some
Hmm.
people like get a lot of energy. That's my experience with it, but it is supposed to be a good herb for the Vata, regulating the nervous system. So,
Okay.
and you're familiar with adaptogen and what that does?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, so an adaptogen, what it does is it's supposed to reduce the amount of stress effect on the body. So it could be like sleep, like you're tired and depressed, or anxiety, and it's supposed to bring you down to midline. So
Mm.
it kind of like instead of those big high spikes, it's
Hmm.
supposed to like level you out. Okay, so I
Okay.
think it levels me out, but like too far down. You know,
Okay.
like I think that's maybe what it does.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah. So that's what that does. So I love an adaptation and we'll get to it a little bit later, but
Hmm.
so chamomile. So of course we've all pretty much heard about chamomile. It's good for sleep. It's good for, soothing digestion, and reduces restlessness. Now with chamomile, it's weird, but it does hurt my stomach a little bit sometimes. But
Hmm.
I'm allergic to some of the aster family, which daisies are in. So I have to
Mm.
be careful with them. It's not like I'm like, oh, I have a huge reaction, but yarrow, like I can't even have yarrow in the house with it, like because I start getting congested and stuff. Um, and it's in the same family. So I have to be careful with chamomile. I will use it like topically, in an oil form, like if I'm
Mhm.
having a rash. I have chamomile, or I will use it in my ear if I'm starting to get an earache because it's really good for that.
How do you use it in your ear? Like,
So I will mix it with mullein oil and or oregano oil. And then
mm,
I just get a Q-tip and I just put it on like just on the very inside of my ear. I don't
mm-hmm.
like shove it down in there. I don't put drops in it. I just kind of
Okay.
like circle it around so it's in there. And
Mm.
so it's not like thick or anything. Um and it seems like if I'm starting to get an ear again, I use that, it goes away. So
Oh, okay.
so yeah,
That's nice.
I've had some really good experience with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
You
and
said tea tree and mullet?
so mullein and oregano oil,
Oh,
and then
oregano. Yeah,
cinnamon.
I love oregano oil.
Yes, yes.
It's
So
some rough stuff, but it helps.
yeah, well, so I only use the extracts, not well, I mean, I do have the some of the essential oils, not extracts, sorry, the cold infusion. I
hmm
only use the cold infusion because
Okay.
to me, those essential oils are so volatile. And like you said, like I use oregano oil not knowing that it was so intense, you know?
hmm
And I mean, I burnt myself, like I had burnt my face here with it before because I was like, oh, it's good for skin and oh my goodness, it burnt me. And so I'm like, okay, so but when I soak, I use either avocado oil or grapeseed oil.
hmm
I mean, you can use whatever oil, and then I'll just infuse it. And then I'll let it set for 4 to 6 weeks. Sometimes I just let it set in there for a really long time. I get lazy. I don't strain it, but
Okay.
it's not as intense that way. And I can use it topically. It doesn't burn me. I
hmm
don't have any of those negative effects, like the essential oil. So.
Okay. Okay.
Now, if you're sensitive to like, avocado or like if you're using like, um, those are heavy oils. So I would just use it lightly because sometimes you'll break out, like get some, pimples or something, because
hmm
those can be heavy. Yeah. Licorice root. So I have had this in a tea form, and
mm
I usually have it like when my throat is hurting. But it's also known for like moisturizing dryness, soothing your gut, and supporting your adrenal health. So it's still that stress response, the adrenal health. Um, so I don't use it in this way. Usually, I usually use it to soothe my sore throats.
Okay.
So, you can find it if you there's a throat coat tea that the licorice root is in.
Uh,
So
uh, what's the name of it?
it's called throat coat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I just get it at like Walmart or Kroger or
Oh,
any.
it's in like a regular uh,
Hmm.
tea
Yeah,
bag. Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
a
I've
tea
seen
bag.
it.
Hmm.
hmm
But I like it that way.
Throat.
Now,
I think there's
again,
one called
licorice.
throat relief too, or something like that. Throat
Yes.
relief. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
hmm
I mean, what the licorice root does is it does calm. So like it's soothing the gut. It's, soothing your adrenals. It's adding moisture to dryness. So it's a very calming root in general.
hmm hmm
So that's why it's good for that. Ginger
hmm
improves digestion, circulation, and balances Vata, like the cool and dry nature. That's how it is.
Yeah, I
So,
love ginger.
yeah, I do like ginger. I have to take it in moderation because when I first started my herbal journey, I was like, okay, ginger's good for you. I'm gonna put ginger in everything. But I got headaches
Okay.
because I think I just took too much. I just had ginger too much. So it actually is supposed to help with headaches, right? But it increases circulation, right? And when you're
hmm
increasing circulation, you got a lot going into your brain. And so it can be too much, So if you're overindulging,
hmm
which most people don't, but I was like putting it in my tea every morning and then I was cooking with it too, and it was just, it was
Yeah,
my
yeah,
coffee. So it was just too much.
yeah. Ginger is strong too. It is
Yeah,
strong.
yeah.
So,
Um, But yeah, this one's really good. And I mean, I liked it, but fennel, this is another, it's the licorice flavor. You either love it or you hate it, flavor. But it does help with constipation, bloating, your digestion. And it's mildly warming, but it's not going to push you into pitta if that's one of your other imbalances. So I like fennel a lot when I'm constipated or I'm having a hard time with that. Bloating too.
Fennel tea.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I grow it in the garden and then I just dry it. Or I
Mm.
will go out and be like, all right, we're gonna put some fennel in the I
I think that's
cover. Good.
one thing I don't have those seeds. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
try
get
to
that
get
one.
some of that. Yeah, I'm definitely
Hmm.
gonna try to get some of that. Oh, before I forget, I heard you say you might want to do a seed swap. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, let me know.
Okay. Okay.
I like that. I like that.
Okay. Okay, good. I'll put that in the community and kind of see what we get back
Okay.
and see if we can do. And I might like I have YouTube, TikTok and an Instagram, and so I'll put it out there too and see if
Okay.
they want to come in and help with that or it's because
All
the
right.
more
No
the
problem.
merrier.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. All right, so the next one is cinnamon, and that one, of course, is common. But this is another warming. It helps with circulation and balancing digestion, and then of course, it always helps with the blood sugar levels as well.
Hmm.
And it's very good. So, and this one is really great with those warming foods. Like we were saying, like if you are cooking, like say you get I will cook like blackberries, strawberries, blueberries. I'll put them in with some, like cook them with some water, put a little bit of honey and cinnamon, and then sometimes ginger too. And so this is and then I'll put a little bit of Greek yogurt on the side and it,
Hmm.
maybe some granola on top. This is a very warming, type meal because I like that in a smoothie form too but then it's Vata imbalancing.
Gotcha.
So that's a good way to add that cinnamon in there. So lemon balm is another one that I feel like everyone in the community has brought up lemon balm.
Yeah, I love lemon
Yeah.
balm.
It's so good. It's so relaxing. It's
Hmm.
mild. There's very little like downsides to it. There's been one study I think that was done. Um, and it was only on animals, it wasn't even on humans, that it might like hinder someone that has hypothyroidism. But it was only on animals. So they've never repeated that with humans. So super, super low impact on the nervous system, like negatively. Um, so you can have this in tea or some, yeah, I mean, tea is the best way. Um, for my son, I put ice in it sometimes, but he's not a Vata, so he's a Pitta, he's a Pitta Kapha, I think.
Mhm.
So he doesn't have to worry about that as much. So, but oh, and also it helps with mental clarity too. I didn't put that on there, but it helps with mental clarity. Um,
Hmm.
so when you're getting that scatterbrained, it really does help like kind of hone in on that too. So. So okay, so this is the other adaptogen that I prefer. It's holy
Hmm.
basil. It's also known as Tulsi basil. There's different strands of Tulsi basil. This one in the picture right here is the one that's the powerhouse. The other ones are super good too, but this one it's more adaptogenic. And I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I should have put it on the slide so I could remember. Um, if you want to know, I can message that to you later. But
Okay.
um, this one's a little bit different. It's not quite as sweet. It's a little bit more herby.
Hmm.
Um, but I like to just like get it from the garden and kind of like put a couple leaves in my mouth if I'm like really stressed. And within a few minutes, I'm like, okay, like the world is better
Oh,
again. Yeah, it
okay.
helps. It's a calming.
Hmm.
Um, you know, to me, I have done when I have been in my most stressful time in my life, I use it as a supplement every day. And it really, like, if I didn't have my holy basil, I was having a panic attack, but if I had it, I was okay.
Hmm.
Now, again, I feel like if I took it, it might take me too far down. I'm not as anxious as I was.
Hmm.
So I get, it's based on what you need. But reduces anxiety, improves focus, and supports respiratory health as well. So. This is a powerhouse. I mean, I feel
Hmm.
like all of the basils have such good benefits, but holy basil is like a holy grail. Of course, it's holy.
Okay.
And it doesn't taste like basil. I don't think doesn't taste like basil to me at all. Um, have you ever had holy basil?
No, I've never had, but I do have some seeds, so I will
Okay.
give
Yeah.
that a try this year.
Yeah, yeah.
I do have some
It's
seeds.
good. And it will reseed itself a lot if you
Mhm.
like let it go to seed and kind of let it drop its seeds. A lot of times it
Oh,
will come back the next
okay.
year.
Yeah. I
So,
know that lemon balm will spread and spread.
see, I hear that all the time. I
Yeah.
have three plants. It's never spread. And I don't know why, but I don't know. I still can't figure that out. Maybe it's my zone, but I don't know. Mine, it stays in
Well,
that one little spot.
the one that I'm talking about is actually in Brooklyn, and we get a lot of
Yeah.
snow and stuff. But
Yeah.
the next year, it's gotten, hey.
Now, this is one thing I do maybe that people don't do is that I cut it back like 3 or 4 times a year. And so before
Okay.
they get that bloom, because they're sweeter to me, I like that flavor of the
Hmm.
leaves before they bloom. So
Right.
now in the back, I don't do that, but in the front, I cut it down 3 or 4 times before it gets those blooms.
Okay.
So maybe
And you
this,
always got to replant it every year?
no, no, it just doesn't go anywhere. It's in this
Okay.
one little spot
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah, yeah,
it doesn't spread. I
yeah.
don't know.
Mine was small, but it's pretty big now, but it did take a few years
Well,
to do
this
that.
is my
So,
fifth year of having
right.
it.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
I'm okay with that.
And it could be because mine don't really get cut anymore.
Yeah.
It could be it's going to seed and they just drop it.
Yeah, it drops the seeds
Yeah.
and then it
That's
spreads.
what could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I do have it out back, but it doesn't get much sun back there, so I'm thinking maybe
Oh
it
yeah,
likes
mine get a lot of
sun.
sun.
Yeah, because I my backyard only gets 2, 3 hours of sun because it's in the woods. It's got my house and then it's got a garage. And so it's really doesn't get much light.
Okay.
So yeah. And then I've got raspberry bushes like all down the side. So it's actually
Nice.
in there with it. So and I'll show you my garden once the time comes.
Okay, not a problem.
Okay, so oat straw, this is one I have heard of it, and
Hmm.
I've heard of it. Most of the time I've heard of it, it's been with like antidepressants or weight loss. Those are the two, oh no, not weight loss, sorry. Like like clarity of mind, like ADHD, when I've been researching ADHD, I've heard of this one for that.
So you
Uh,
make tea with it? Because my friend gave me a Ziploc bag of it,
mhm.
and I haven't used it yet because I didn't know what to use it for.
So that's what it's for. Again, I have never used it,
Hmm.
but it is a calmer and it says it helps with dryness. Um, and I've heard like with the ADHD, I've heard a lot of people using it for that. So this
So
one,
tea form with in a tea form.
I don't know.
Mm.
I don't
Okay.
want to tell you wrong.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna
Uh,
look up some stuff and see.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. And I'm like we're just starting. So I'm like I can, if there's anything you want me to dive deeper into, I can go ahead and do that. I've gone pretty deep into moringa already in here, but
Yeah.
oat straw can be,
Okay.
yeah, it's in the modules
Okay,
already.
I'm gonna take a look at that because
Yeah.
I love moringa.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
yes.
I
Yeah. I
love
put
it.
that in smoothies a lot.
Um,
Um, and the thing is I'm switching to that warmer food, so I could probably put that in that like the heated berries too. Um, it's super bitter if you don't do too much, I feel like.
right, 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 right.
When I first started, I'm like, more is better. A little bit is good. More is better. And I was like, more is not better. It's not taste good. And I
Yeah.
mean, it's a powerhouse for a reason. You don't need a ton of it.
Hmm.
So so the next one is marshmallow root, and I have this plant out back, but I have not. This is the third year I've had it. I haven't dug it up yet because it's hard for me to dig up roots. I just
Yeah, yeah. I
it
heard
is
you
hard.
say that in the
Yeah.
module with the other young lady.
Yes, yes, that is.
I didn't catch her name.
Oh yeah.
I didn't catch
You
her
caught me
name.
off guard. What is her name? I don't remember off the top of my head.
Right. I only
But
asked because I don't remember her saying her name in the or you saying it in the module.
yeah, I don't think we
So
said our
okay.
names.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Yeah.
she's super sweet. I mean, she does her own, like she's got tinctures and oils
Yeah,
so
I saw that.
I'm
That's
like I'm probably gonna ask her to like present one time because I feel like
that'd be wonderful.
she's got a lot of knowledge there. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be very
I
valuable.
heard her say that. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna go back through that particular module because she was talking about teachers and stuff, and
Yeah, yeah,
I will go back through that one.
yeah, yeah. So marshmallow is soothing. It's good for digestion, skin, and respiratory. So usually they pair this one with the licorice root. So those are good to pair together for that
Mhm.
calming. It can help with throat or for the lungs as well. Respiratory, yeah.
Okay.
And then nettle. Now, this is okay. This is one I definitely want to caution you about. So I have never personally used nettle, but I did. It's good for arthritis, and so I thought, this is going to be perfect for somebody. I got it for them, and they broke out in a huge rash all over their body, and
Mm,
it's actually stinging nettle, right? That's the name of it. So there, I think. There's a certain way that you have to prepare it. Off the top of my head, I can't remember,
mm,
and some people are allergic to it. So I
right.
would, if you are diving into singing nettle, make sure you're doing your research on exactly how to prepare it and only a little bit at a time to see, um, how you're going to react to that. It does have so many good medicinal uses in the history, like circulation, and helps with fatigue and arthritis. There's a ton of other reasons, but this is good for Vata. So this one just err on the side of caution, I would say, um,
Okay.
just because I've had that experience. And I mean, it's named singing nettle for a reason. Like some people, when they touch it, it stings them. Some people it doesn't. So like it actually has like a stinging property to
Mm,
it.
mm,
So I think that's actually the property that's supposed to help you, but can also cause you to have a reaction. And I
right.
think your body's just like, what is this? We need to fight this, you know? So. Skull cap is another one when you're looking up like migraines or ADHD. This one's supposed to be help stimulate your nervous system. I have used this one before. I had the plant. I never used the plant. And then, I was talking about it in my last module. I was like, no, I never used the plant. And I remember I planted it because I already had the dried stuff. I did use the dried stuff. I use it in a tea and you can actually smoke it as well. Or like, I usually just put it in like a thing that smokes and then put it in the shower. You can
Okay.
smell it.
Mhm.
But so it's supposed to be good for migraines and for brain stimulation. But I would say it's similar if you've ever had What is that? Mm, what is that? It's another one that's good for ADHD. It's on the top of my tongue. Hmm. I don't know, but if you like, I would say it can cause headaches. You know, again, it allows the circulation to get into your brain.
Hmm.
And so just like ginger, if you have too much of it, it can cause those headaches. But if you have the right amount, then it can reduce that headache. So just,
Be
make sure
careful.
you're dosing. I am going to do a dosing module later. And that one's probably going to be one in like a paid section, but and I'm going to be adding to it over time. But I really like the way I'm going through a training because when I started this, I was like, I know a ton. I've been studying this for a long time. I want more concrete, and
Hmm.
so I bought a course that's done by oops, but that's done by an herbalist, and she goes over dosing and things like that. So I'm gonna add that to my module. It's not gonna be very much at first,
Hmm.
because it's just gonna be small. But what I'm gonna do is like if you guys get in early, it's only gonna be like $10, and then it's gonna increase how much is in there over time, and so it'll go up, but you'll have it forever for that $10. So as I add, you'll still have that
Okay.
module. Okay, so catnip. So this is another one that you think of cats with it and how crazy they get. Well, it's like the opposite for humans. It's more calming. I've seen this for sleep, digestion, easing tension, and helping calm that nervous system. So you can see definitely a pattern with Vata, right? We see
Hmm.
calming, we see a lot of mind, like mind stimulation. And all of these are really like, if the child has ADHD, it's like, okay, you should probably use that. Um, oh, that almost came to me again. That one herb that it almost came
Okay.
to me. Every time I say ADHD, I think about it because I got it for my son, but it did not work for him. And
Mm.
that's the thing is that not every herb's going to work for every person. Everybody's chemicals are different. And so, you just have to be careful,
Right.
what you're doing. And in the module two, we have there's going to be a kids section too.
Hmm.
So, okay. And then the purple vervine. This is one that I haven't Wait, have I used this one? I definitely have heard of it in the ADHD section again. Supports nervous system, relieves stress and relaxation. I don't think I've ever purchased it or been around it, and the plant looks beautiful to me. I
Hmm.
think it's small though. I think it's like, one of those that kind of looks like a weed until the flowers come out.
Okay.
Um, but like that picture, I'm like, oh, I want that all over my
Looks
garden.
nice, right?
You know?
Yeah.
So I do think it's pretty small though. But yeah, I don't have a ton of experience with this one either. So moving on. Okay, so this is actually the plant from my garden, valerian root. Um,
Mm.
and this one is no joke. Sleep. This is, and see, it says deep sleep. That's for a reason. It helps with muscle tension and calms anxiety. So if I get muscle cramps at night, I think it's from my anxiety. And then I can't sleep. And so
Okay.
this is one thing I take it in the pill form, and I can take one or two pills and almost always within an hour I'm asleep. And that is unheard of for me. Like I can take all kinds of things and I don't go to sleep, but this one does. This one, I mean, it knocks you out. It's
Wow.
not anxiety. I mean, it does calm anxiety, but it's asleep.
Hmm.
The thing about it too is it tastes really bad. I've never had the tea. Wait, I'm lying. I have had it in a tea, but it was in a mixture. And so it wasn't bad that way. But when I've taken the pills, it it kind of like I want to say it kind of tastes like feet.
Like beets?
Feet, like feet. Ugh.
Oh.
So not so great. Of course, when you're taking in a pill form, it's a lot easier to take like that, but
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
And then hops, of course, we know hops because the original beer was made from hops. But
Hmm.
people have used it in teas and also have smoked it for years. It helps with digestion, calms your nerves, and promotes restful sleep. I have had it both ways. I will say, I think there's a balance there. It has hurt my stomach before. So, I'd say small amounts. I mean, I'm super sensitive. So like I use myself as a test person, but I'm like, oh, that hurt my stomach or that.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm super like when they're like, okay, don't take more than this small dose, that's me. I don't want to take more than that small dose. So that's
Okay.
my personality. That's me. Um, but yeah, I can, and it has caused headaches when I've smoked it.
Hmm.
So, that's just a couple things that but it does calm. It does, there have been times where during my anxious time that it really did help calm
Hmm.
some of that anxiety. It's
Yes. So the last three I have not even, yeah, I don't know much about those the last three. Hops, this is
hops.
I've heard of it, but
Okay.
I've
This
never.
is this is it. And I did make sure that I had real pictures of all the plants.
Okay.
This is the hops plant. That's the flower of it.
Hmm.
And it's in I okay, I don't want to tell you wrong. I think it's in a similar family as wheat.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't want to tell you wrong. But
Okay. Hmm. Hmm.
they make beer out of it, out of hops. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what
Hmm.
it's known for the most.
Yeah. So similar to the hemp,
Huh?
similar to the hemp.
Uh, well, that one's more along the marijuana lines.
Okay.
So I don't think that they're related. So
Okay. When
yeah.
you said weeds, what do you mean?
Wheat.
Oh, wheat. I'm
Wheat. Yes.
sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. Wheat. Yeah. That was not
Sorry.
clear.
Yeah, she said weeds. I'm like, well, maybe it's
Which weeds? Like the ones that are in
right.
the garden? Yeah. I got you now. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this is actually from my garden. I love this plant. Now I've only had the leaves because of course, I know I have a hard time with the getting rid of the flowers. They
Yes.
only bloom for one day. So
That only
they're
bloomed for one day?
yes, it's super beautiful for
Wow.
one day. Yeah. But
So you gotta be sitting there waiting for
there's a
it.
lot, like it's an invasive vine when you let it go, like huge
Hmm.
invasive vine. So there will be blooms, throughout the season, but each
Okay.
bloom only blooms once,
Oh, okay.
like for one
Gotcha.
day.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's kind of like a daylily, daylilies
Hmm.
are like one day and
One
then
day.
gone. It's super beautiful. I've only had the leaves and they kind of it actually made my throat swell up a little bit. So I don't know what's in that leaf. So be
Mm.
careful with that. And
Okay.
again, it might just be where I'm sensitive. But
Hmm.
this one I've heard over and over again. It helps with calming, it helps with sleep and balancing emotions. So I've seen this over and over and over again, and so I wanted to grow it. I mean, it's beautiful too. I mean, look at that. It's stunning.
Yes, it is.
Um, but um, I wanted it for the medicinal properties too. I haven't done the flower, and so I think the flower is probably more mild.
Hmm.
So, but I don't know. It's beautiful. Anyway, yeah. So this, like, I'll show you in the summer, but it like grows around my house, and like, I mean, I have to cut it out of the neighbor's yard. It's I mean, it'll take over. And I bet you where you're more south,
Hmm.
it probably, or more southern, it would even do if you're, well, in your Georgia, it would probably be even more invasive there.
Okay.
So just be careful. If you ever plant that,
Hmm.
you'll be digging it up for
Oh, okay.
I pull it up, it like come like I mean it's like down on the other side of my garden bed. Like how did it
Hmm.
get over there? I don't know. But like you gotta be careful with that thing.
Okay.
But beautiful. And then of course dandelion root. We have talked about dandelion root.
Hmm. Hmm.
It detoxifies the liver. So what it does is it gets it's a diuretic, right? So it gets rid of a lot of your urine. I have had some bladder irritation because of that. When I've had it on a regular basis. If I just have it once, it's fine. But if I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, every morning I'm gonna have dandelion root, that's when I'm like,
Right.
oh, I'm having some pain.
Hmm. Hmm.
So again, I mean, I say
Everything in moderation.
yes,
Everything. Yeah.
yes. And it's like,
I'm glad you said that because a lot of people online make you feel like, oh,
you
you
can
have
use it,
this,
huh?
take this herb and take it every day, and
Yes,
you won't be bothered. But you have to know your body, like you're saying, which is
yes,
wonderful.
yes.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
and if it's like if you're like you're bloated, this would be perfect. But
Hmm.
if you are dehydrated, this is not something you want to be taking,
Right. Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, over time, I've learned. I've made all the mistakes for you. So I've done all the wrong things. So,
Okay.
I've learned. And I mean, the best thing about plants though is yes, there was a little irritation. Yes, I've had some headaches. Yes, I've had a little bit of stomach aches, but it's never been anything super severe. So,
Like if you were taking a
yeah.
medication,
Yeah,
they
medication.
tell you to take this medication, and it's the worst thing for you. It may cure that one thing, but it's
Yeah.
going to destroy the other,
Yeah.
something else in your body. Yeah.
And I think we err on the side of treating the problem for so long that it's like now we've created a new problem because it's
Hmm.
like take this pill every day for the rest of your life. Well, I mean, you might be down for a little while, like, with ashwagandha, it might bring me back up, but then I don't need to continue to keep taking it and taking it,
Right.
taking it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It'll
Hmm.
bring me up and then I don't need it anymore, so I need to stop taking it. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yep.
So I think that's the thing too with the marketing system. It's like now we need to take this every day so you can have my product every day. But that's
Hmm.
not the way it works.
Exactly.
You need to listen to your body. Rosemary is another one. I would put it in a similar category as oregano with how many things that it does. Um,
Hmm.
it helps with circulation, memory, stimulates digestion, and hair growth. Like because it does bring like blood to that area. Like if
Hmm.
you are having spots, like that you're thinning or whatever, which I had alopecia, so I used it on that. I actually had to go
Yes.
get it treated
Hmm.
too, but that helps some of the stimulation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Rosemary is very good for your hair.
yes, yeah.
Um, we make a hair oil with it also.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah.
she put was it I forgot the name of that other that, but I know it's clove,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
rosemary, and there's
Mhm.
something else she put in there.
I have seen cayenne pepper as one of them too.
No, it's a little. I don't think it's fennel. It's some type of seed. I will have to ask what that
Okay.
was. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then she made a spray with it,
Okay.
uh, with
Okay.
water, and spray it on your
Hmm.
head, and that
Yeah.
helps with the dandruff. Also,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Because I mean, it does have some antimicrobial properties too.
Hmm.
And then yarrow, this is one that we kind of talked about earlier. It helps with the circulation. for digestion and strengthens immune system. I think the other lady in the group was saying she uses it like every day. I could never
Hmm.
do that. I have to use it very, very sparingly if I use it at all. Usually it's just topically
Hmm.
in the oil. But yeah, because of my sensitivity.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
but but yeah, I mean, so many people use it. Like this is one that you stumble upon when you're looking at herbs all the time. And it
Hmm.
grows so prolifically here. I don't know if you've ever grown it.
No. Mm-mm.
Oh my God. I found a sprig like this big in the I would because once I find something I'm like, oh my gosh, I hear about all these good things. So I'm like on
Right.
the hunt, where is it? Especially before I was really broke, So I'm like, I can't afford all these things. So I would like go on a hunt for it. And I
Hmm.
found a sprig like this big and it like turned into this huge plant. I gave part of it to my mom. I dug part of it up. Like it'll grow like crazy.
Okay.
Um,
That's what I'm gonna have to do.
yeah.
Learn how to identify some of these things so I can,
Yes. Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
pick them up.
Yeah. And that's another like future section that I was gonna make too is like plant identification and then like how it grows, where it grows, all of
Oh,
that.
okay. Yeah, that'd
So
be
that's
nice.
one future thing. I've only been up for about 3.5 weeks now, so
Hmm.
maybe four.
Hmm.
So there's a lot still coming. I have so many ideas. But that's
Okay.
definitely one. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then Siberian ginseng um, is okay. So this is another one that gives me headaches. I
Hmm.
cannot do ginseng. Um, Boosts energy, it strengthens immunity and counteracts stress. For me, yeah, it gets me headaches, but it's a stimulant, Again, I feel like anything that has a lot of blood flow going to my brain it causes headaches for me. So, some people need that extra blood flow to the brain. And so if
Hmm.
that's what that you're needing, then that is really good for that. Uh,
Okay.
I've never had the raw plant. I've just had it in things.
Hmm.
Um, and it's usually probably in a sugary beverage. So it might be the combination there too. I've never had it plain. Have I had it plain? No, no, never had it plain. So. And then cardamom. This might be for the hair.
Hmm.
I don't know. So this is helps in digestion, bloating, warming in the body. I
Hmm.
have used cardamom mostly in cooking, and it's not.
Yeah.
I've never used it medicinally.
Yeah. Cooking is what I usually do.
Yeah. So I don't. I haven't really tracked any of the what it's done to my body because I'm just like cooking with it.
Hmm.
This is one that I really like, turmeric. I feel like have you ever had golden milk? Have you ever heard of that?
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
I have. Yeah. Hmm.
Yes. This is one that I really like in golden milk. I just
Hmm.
made they started selling the root at Kroger, which I had never seen before. So I
Hmm.
got some of the root and I made a soup with it today
Oh,
and
wow.
it was
Okay.
so good. I added so I had chicken. I'll go ahead and tell you the recipe. It was really good. I just put chicken, it was a rotisserie chicken, and then
Hmm.
potatoes, carrots, celery, and then I added the paprika and then the turmeric and garlic. Um and then I added chicken broth and then a couple bouillon cubes. And
Hmm.
it was really good. It
Oh,
was
good.
yeah.
Sounds good.
So
Okay.
and it's like, a lot of healthy vegetables, but also like that. I mean, this is an anti-inflammatory. This helps with joints. It helps with digestion. This one is really good for like if you have rheumatoid arthritis as well,
Hmm.
because it helps with that inflammation. And I've actually consumed quite a bit of this without any issues so far. Like probably too
Okay.
much, when I was in my
Oh,
kick of more is better.
okay, yeah. That's
So,
one thing you like.
yeah, this is one thing my body hasn't rejected.
Okay.
And this is one I don't know. Galal.
I've never heard of that.
This is definitely Indian. I put it in
Okay.
here at the last one just to kind of say it was in the Trophilia that I had talked about in the group that
Mhm.
it was one of the agents, but it is good for balancing your metabolism and detoxifying. I have never used it, and they typically only use it with other things in that. The Trophilia is three different. It's like Amla, Trophilia, or Galula, and then there's one other. I can't remember off the top of my head. And I
Mhm.
haven't had it either. It is very common in India to use it for digestion and detoxification. And they were saying that it actually like goes deep into the cells well, it's used with what was with the amla. Was it amla? Sorry. I watched a video before I got on here because I was like, I really want to know about this guy because I don't know very much. But it
Right.
was talking about really detoxifying, like going deep into the cells and getting those toxins out of the cells. And that's why they use it so much. But that's why it's also causes like diarrhea and, stuff like that because it's really
Oh.
getting like it's like getting all that out of you. So and
Mhm.
they were like,
Mhm.
don't if you're
Wow.
just doing it to like for detox, like a week is you don't want to do it longer than a week. And
Okay.
then if you're doing it for there was something else you wanted to do it for. Hmm. I can't remember, but it was only 3 months.
Mhm.
So yeah. But I've been studying this for a long time, but I'm like refreshing everything because I've been kind of, I plant the things and I use the things, but I don't like research it. I'm really loving this group because it's helping refresh a lot of that stuff that I've kind of made dormant in the back, the back
Right.
of my mind.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
actually am on another community. She changed the name, so I can't remember the name. Uh, Holly. Holly. Well, like I said, she changed the name.
Okay.
Next time, or I'll text you it.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
has
yeah. Let
she
me
has
know.
she has a herb community also.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I
yeah,
haven't seen any other on there. I've been
yeah,
looking.
yeah. She has
Um,
one.
Okay. I'll have to join that one. I thought I was the only one because I was like I searched herbs on school and I couldn't find any other ones. So,
Hmm.
but like I love to geek out on plants for sure. And I go to my mom. She loves plants too, but she loves the way they look. She loves like to learn about gardening and the aesthetics. She doesn't care as much what they do. So
Okay,
I am on the other side. I like the aesthetics. I like pretty flowers, don't get me wrong, but I want to know what that pretty flower does.
okay, okay.
And I don't know if you saw, I posted in the group about like some of the medicinal flowers that I'm going to be diving into this summer too, that I didn't even know that were medicinal. I mean, they're just common like snapdragons and, morning glories, like things like that you see all the
Yeah,
time.
right.
You didn't realize that they're also medicinal. So,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
gonna,
gonna try to get into the flowers this year a little
yeah,
bit. See what I can do.
yeah. Because I mean, like, what is better than seeing something beautiful and being able to use it for medicine? So, yeah. All right. Well, that's what I have for today. And so I don't know if I'm going to do Pitta or Kapha next week, but I will be diving into one of those next week. And yeah, I'm just gonna go with the feeling. Do you have a preference? Because I could go with whatever you want.
uh, no, you can go with whichever one you
Okay.
want.
All right. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. It was so fun. I love talking about plants. So,
Thank you. Yeah, no
yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Anytime. I'm I'm trying to, well, I like plants. I just like watching them
Yeah.
grow and I'll pull people. I'll never forget this girl. I had just met her a couple of years ago. She came to my house to pick up my friend, and I was like, "No, come in the backyard," and I was like, "Taste this," and taste that. It actually was what was it? That peppery kind of lettuce. What do they call that? Arugula?
Arugula. Oh, yeah.
Yes. I was like, taste this, you know? And
It's like,
she was like,
ew.
she was like, no, this crazy. This lady got to be crazy, just pulling stuff off the trees and eating them.
Yeah.
But that's me. That's
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. That's me too. So I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I will see you next week.
Okay.
If you want, I'm gonna try to keep it, I think 7 on Tuesdays, uh,
Okay.
unless something pops up. But for now,
All
I
right.
know there's one lady in the group that is in a different country and would love to do like an earlier time. So maybe once in a while I'll do an earlier time. I my
Okay. Just let me know.
Okay, yeah, my
Yeah.
my jobs changes every week, so.
Okay. Right. Right. Well, if I can do it, I will, because I travel too a lot. So
Yeah. Well, good. I
I'll
love to
definitely
travel
make it when I
too.
can. Okay.
All right.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
You're welcome.
You have a
Bye
wonderful
bye.
night.
You too.